King Ray Ray in this bitch. Ha!
Chuck Diesel.
What's good, homies? What's good? It's your man King Ray Ray back up in the joint again, ready to drop some more heat, man. Got to do it. Got to do it. What's good, homies? What's good? Let's get the people a few minutes to slide up in the joint. Big Rich, what up, homie? Great topic, great show. Been a tad bit under the weather, man. Being out in that cold streak we had, the little cold spurt we had, man. Being out there underdressed. Been a tad bit under the weather, man. So I got a little bit behind on, man, some of my live video and vlog content, man. So y'all bear with me, man. Y'all bear with me. We back in full effect. Brian Dickey, salute to you, man. Primal Fitness, shalom, brother. Meticulous, what up, man? Let's give the people a few seconds to get in here, man, before we get physical in here, man. This one won't be too long, man. Maybe about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Kid Famous, what up, man? YMC, what up, my brother? Hey, I appreciate that, brother. YMC's cupping Alpha's Phil long sleeve. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate it. Got a couple of other designs coming up, man. On the 28th, man, I got a little shouter, man, that's gonna go ahead and start typing the book, man. I don't type, I wrote it. And recorded the audio version, man, and she gonna type it out for me. So, we finally getting to it, man. Appreciate y'all being patient, man. Appreciate the support and all that, man. Black Light, what up? EJ2, what up, homie? AC, what up, man? Give the people a couple more minutes, man. Like my brother YMC say, man, hit the like button on the way in, man. We're going to give the people a few minutes. I know the alert's probably going out slow on this one, the notifications, because I put it up at 10:25 for 10:30. So, Jeremy James, what up, man? Appreciate that, bro. Vaughn, I see you, bro. Hellfighter, what up, man? Man in action, what's good with you, bro? Let's be patient, man, and give the people time to slide up in here. Couple people on right now, man, but I used to not come on when people were on, man, but hey, man, look, what I had to realize, man? I had to realize that I make content for the Alpha Sphere and the Kingdom of Ray. You know what I'm saying? I make content for the alphas and the educated thugs. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? I make content for my supporters. And I had to get to the point where I didn't worry about anybody else. And that's where I am now, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about anybody on YouTube. I don't worry about anybody but my supporters, man. Now, some of those supporters are content creators as well, but what I'm saying is I don't think about anybody except my supporters. That's it. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. 10 ways marriage is like prison. Now, if you notice in the thumbnail, man, I do have the marriage is prison joint, which is also available, man. I'm actually gonna rock it tomorrow, man, and I'll take some pictures of it. I'll take some thumbnail pictures of me in the shirt. and also me and the certified man of God joint. So 10 ways marriage is like prison. I say this all the time, man, that marriage is like prison, but it's just something slick to say until I break it down and give you the ways that marriage resembles prison. And anybody who's married can vouch for this. Anybody who's been to prison can vouch for this. These two things have some glaring similarities. And as you see, man, number 10 is going to be a doozy. So y'all hang around, man, till we get to number 10. Godfidence, what up, bro? D. Flemings, what's good, my brother? I see you. Oscar Jones, Fit Life, what up? Running Fargo, I see you, bro. Rudy, what up, man? All right, man. Let's go ahead and slide into this thing. The number one way that marriage is like prison is when you think about having a cellmate, your wife is like a cellmate. Y'all use the same bathroom. Sometimes y'all in there together, y'all got to watch one another. Sometimes one of y'all in there, the other one come in. It's the same thing, man. If you on the cell, man, when your cellmate get on the shitter, man, you watching. I mean, you there. You ain't watching, but you in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially if y'all locked down, you in there. Otherwise, you can step out. But middle of the night, bro, you in there. Same thing with your old lady, man. Your old lady farted in the bed. Guess what? You got to smell it. That's just the way it is. Another thing, everything you got, your cellmate sees it. Everything you got, your old lady sees it. Can mess with it if she want to, if she's willing to deal with the trouble that come with that. Can mess with anything you got. Can take anything you got. Use anything you got. Can be all in your mix. Every night, there's somebody in bed with you. Now, in a cell, y'all ain't in the same bed, but y'all in a bunk bed. Same difference. Bunk beds come in sets. You can't buy one bed and call it a bunk bed. Bunk bed is a set, but it's two beds that come together as one. So when you think about a wife, you got to think about a cellmate. You got to think about being in cell with somebody all the time. But the one thing that even prison has on marriage is you might get a different cellmate. So the whole time you're in prison, you might not have to deal with the same cellmate. You may just wake up one day and your cellmate gone. You may have some time in there to yourself. You may not even get another cellmate. Once you lose the first cellmate, once he get out of or go wherever you're going, man, you may do the rest of your time without a cellmate. If you married, you ain't gonna do none of your time without your cellmate, homie. Your cellmate gonna be there every day. Your cellmate might go out of town, work a double, but your cellmate gonna be there every day, bro. And then another thing is your wife is bringing constant, consistent feminine energy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. That can be a nuisance, man. That can be a terrible nuisance, man. That can be bothersome as hell just to have that feminine energy around you every day. Now, granted, I'm quite sure there's some men behind the wall that would love some feminine energy. But even them, I bet they don't want it around them every day. Another way that marriage is like prison, man, is prison is an institution, and so is marriage. They're both governed by laws. They're both most times intended to be long term. They both are intended to be long term. In both of them, you may lose everything you got throughout the process of being institutionalized. But the glaring difference is this. In prison, you're not trusting anyone to have your back like that. You didn't become one with anyone in prison. You didn't swear before man and God to have and to hold and love and to cherish and sickness and the health to death do you part and all that. No one swore their allegiance to you for life in prison, so you ain't trusting no damn body. In marriage, you could be sleeping with the enemy and not even know it. I'll give you an example. Al Green, one of Al Green's wives threw some hot grits on him while he was asleep. Now let me tell you something. That man was in the bed relaxing his ass off without a care in the world, and that woman threw some hot grits on him. If you in prison, bro, you ain't relaxing your ass off, acting like you ain't no threats around. I can promise you that. You are not relaxing and just chilling, knocked out, snoring and all that, man, like sleeping. Man, you're a light sleeper. Any noise make you move something. At least pop your eyes open. Trust is paramount in the institution of marriage. There is no trust in a penal institution. There is no, yeah, there might be not much like in a penal institution because everybody could possibly be your enemy. You're not looking at anybody as your loved one unless you're actually locked up in that boy with a real live loved one. You're in there with your cousin. Yeah, it's two on everybody at that point. Another thing about these institutions is every single thing you do is watched, viewed, deciphered, dissected, and judged. Everything. In prison, you can go to the hole. In marriage, you can get put in the doghouse. Think about these similarities, man. In prison, you can get your privileges took. In marriage, you can get your privileges taken as well. The law governs both, and the law has to okay you to be released from both. At least in prison, for the most part, most people have a release date, and they're going to be released. And if they do their time to the wall, they're going to be released and they're going to cut all ties. Even if you have some papers to deal with, you got some paperwork to deal with when you get out, you still are away from the prison. Yeah, there's still some laws governing your movement. There's some things you still got to look out for, but guess what? You are away from your cellmate. You don't have to worry about that part of it anymore. Another thing the law governs is your visitation. People can come see you at certain times. It's the same thing you married. When you single and your boys coming through all the time and y'all going out kicking it all the time and y'all going out of town, man, staying gone for 3-4 days, man, or y'all just striking up one night, man, getting out on town, decide y'all just gonna go to Vegas that night. Come back when y'all get ready. Y'all go to Vegas and kick it, man. You come back, you get off work, man. You have a little shot to come through the crib, man, and do all that, man. Hell, you push her out the door and got another shot coming through the crib. Hell, if you good, you got 2 shots coming through the crib at the same time, man. When you get married, bro, man, your visitation governed like hell. As a matter of fact, you might get your visitation stripped from you altogether. Just like if you get in trouble in prison. See, what you got to understand is this. Your wife is your warden. She's the warden. She controls your comings and goings. She controls your ins and outs, brother. Now I know somebody gonna come in here and say, my wife don't control nothing. Man, the law is on her side. And so if you married, I'm talking about showing up married. Now I ain't talking about the way we do it, where we just, we just say what we gotta say and we make the distinction. I'm talking about married, bro. When you get married, man, yo, lady, it's the warden, bro. All the laws of the institution are on her side. She has to control. You understand what I'm saying? She can change your bunk if she want to. You know how many dudes have to go sleep on the sofa or in the guest room or on the floor? Man, I was dealing with this chick, man, and she had been married before, man, and dude divorced her, and she was, I want to know why. I want to know why. Why did a man that married you? Why did he leave you? What happened? Man, she said, man, she used to treat that boy like, man, say he left after one night, man, she kicked him out the bed. I like, what you mean? You kicked him out? What, you told him to go sleep somewhere else? Nah, she literally took her feet and kicked that fool out the bed with her feet. That fool hit the floor. That type of kicking out the bed. She changed that boy bunk, man. She clinked that cell and told him, hey, man, your bunk is over there now. So when we talk about these things, man, and I created this particular topic, man, because I want men to understand how serious being institutionalized is. The same way prison doesn't rehabilitate you, marriage doesn't rehabilitate you. They both scar you to some extent. They both harden you to some extent. The difference is you don't know you're hardened until you get out of a marriage. You have no idea until you get out. The whole time you're in there, you're a beta male. Jumping around doing crazy things. And the chick I was just telling you about, man, she wanted me to knock her down so bad, bro. I never did. And any chick who got that kind of energy, man, because this is the thing. Even if a dude is Mr. Softy, for a woman to fix herself to do that to a man, and get this, she was cold upset because the dude divorced her. She didn't think he would. So I ain't no telling what she had been doing to him before that. Because she was mad that he left her. Literally, bro. She was pissed. Said she couldn't even stand. She said if she saw him, she don't know what she'd do. And I'm like, hold up. Then you say you kicked this man out the bed? Man, that brown said, yeah, but still. I knew then I wasn't finna get at her, man. I wasn't finna, nah, man. I wasn't finna bless her, man, with no back breaking. I wasn't finna take her to the lumber yard. I wasn't finna build her no log cabin. But that's the type of thing that happens. We hear all the time some dude tell my man he got to ask his old lady, can he go? His old lady won't let him go. He got to go do something nice for his old lady, man. So she won't give him no problem about going. And then the crazy thing is this, even when you get out of divorce, you still on papers. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say you go to prison, man. You got to do the prison time and you got the restitution. Divorce the same way. You get divorced, man, you still tied to it. You still got to pay X amount of money for X amount of years. That like being on probation, bro. You know what I'm saying? Parole, probation, that's like leaving from behind the wall and still having to deal with that paperwork, still having that paper trail hanging on your ankle. Same thing, man. Some of these dudes be on house arrest, man. You might well put an ankle bracelet on. You can't go nowhere. Can't go nowhere unless your old lady going with you. All the things you used to do by yourself, now you got to do it with her. All the things you do with her, all the things she used to do with her partners, now you got to do it with her. You got to make sure your old lady is okay with what you want to do, man. Before she snap. And you don't need them troubles in your life, man. You don't want them troubles in your life. I damn sure don't. Another way, man, that marriage is like prison is the expectation for you to be settled in and settled down for the night by a certain time. I used to hate, man, in the morning, man, hearing that clank, 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 clank. They just click the cell door real hard. Them locks sound loud as hell. Clang, 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 clang. Just them opening and closing the lock, clicking the lock, open and close, man. When 5:30 in the morning, man, they clicking the lock, open and close, clicking the lock, open and close. Never got used to it. But you know what? Lights out by a certain time. Now, of course, I mean, there were exceptions where, you certain people who were on, man, you really didn't have to, be lights out like that. You could still roam around a little bit. But for the most part, your waking and going to sleep are governed. The same thing when you got an old lady. Man, have you think about this? Here you are up doing some work, and you got a woman keep asking you, when you coming to bed? When you coming to bed? I want you to hold me. I want to cuddle with you. I want you to give me some. You always working. You could do that tomorrow. Same thing. Exact same token, man. Somebody's governing when you wake up, when you go sleep. Somebody's governing when you can go outside in the yard. You can't go on the yard until they say you can go in the yard. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to keep in mind, man, that another thing is this phone check, nigga. You can't be on the phone like you want to with whoever you want to when you at home with your old lady. Just like you can't. Let me tell you something. And this is crazy right here. When you in there, man, and you got a cell phone, you got certain time you can talk on. Other times, man, you got to make sure you got that boy put off somewhere. Cause when it come through and shake down, you better make sure that boy ain't on you nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to do what you got to do. You got to be in there, and you can talk on it at certain time. Certain time you can't. The people you talk to on it, no. Certain time you can't call it. Well, you really can't call it at all. But no, you shouldn't. You crazy if you're out here, man. Somebody behind the wall, they got a cell phone, and you call them. Unless they give you specific instructions for a call time. But man, it's the same thing at home. Let's say you got a little chick on the side, man. You can't just talk to her right there in front of your old lady. Because if you could, then she wouldn't be a chick on the side. See what I'm saying? She'd be your other chick. She wouldn't be your little side piece. A side piece is the chick that you can have on the time besides the time that your old lady wants. Besides the time you got to spend with your woman. But it's the same thing, man. Yeah, man, these cats be doing all kind of things. They be turning the ring off on their phone, turning their phone out, man, putting their phone face down. All type of shit be going on with these cats' phone, man, because they at home with their old lady. They got to hide their phone. They leave their phone in the car. Sometimes they get another phone to talk to their bras on, man, so the old lady won't know that. Man, they boy they be dealing with the blues. Why? Because marriage is like prison. That's why. Another way marriage is like prison, man. You can be deprived of your privileges and get other punishments. Just like you got her friends or lookouts. They see y'all doing something, man, and see y'all somewhere. Listen, they can just see you out somewhere, get your car washed. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna call your old lady right then and say, I see what's call over here at the car wash, such and such. I see BOA over here at the such and such. I saw BOA today, he was in such and such. I saw BOA with this chick, and he was standing talking to a woman. I don't know who she was, but they said they was all. You got to worry about that. Same thing with a snitch behind the wall. You got to worry about that. Although, listen, your old lady friends are much more likely to snitch on you than somebody behind the wall because there are no consequences for them snitching behind the wall. There are some consequences, dire consequences at that. You get put on sex rations. It's pretty much a conjugal visit sex schedule. It's kind of like when you behind the wall, man, you got a certain if you're somewhere that allows conjugal visits, which is quickly going the way of the caveman, I figure within the next 5 to 10 years, you won't be able to get conjugal visits in any prison in the United States. But and that's for me, that's a terrible thing, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's how your sex schedule is at home. In a marriage, after a certain point, I know you hear these married men tell my man, when you get married, the sex change. You don't have sex like you used to. And then you don't have the same kind of sex that you used to before you got married. Everything's different. Yeah, everything's different. You have sex on the conjugal visit schedule. Visitations every 2 weeks. You have sex every 2 weeks at home. Some of you can have sex once a month at home. Conjugal visit schedule. When you think about these things, man, you got to, these are some realistic similarities, man, that should make all of us give pause when it comes to, doing anything like willingly. See, this is the thing. You out here living your life, man. You do something that you got to do right quick, man. It could go bad, and you're doing some time. Marriage is a choice that a man makes when he doesn't have the threat of prison looming. When men make this decision when they attain the most success they ever had in their lives, then they turn around and make the decision to marry some chick, to put themselves in an emotional prison. See, marriage is an emotional prison. The penitentiary is a physical and mental prison. Both of them imprison you mentally to some extent, but one is a physical prison, the other is an emotional prison. But prison is prison. You still locked up. You understand? I'm locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me out. That's you, man. Visitation no longer come by. Seems like they forgot about me. Commissary's getting empty. My cellmates can fool without me. I can't wait to get out and move forward with my life. Got a family who loves me and want me to do right, but still I'm here locked up. They won't let me. That's you. That's how you are in your marriage. You locked up, and the bra won't let you out. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Everything about you done changed. When a man let's say when you're out there getting that money, man, you get jammed up. I'm talking about showing up, get jammed up, and you selling off everything just so you can put the paper up, the car, all them cars and jewelry and all, they gonna do you no good behind the wall. So you selling everything off. That's the same thing that happens when you get married. All the things you had when you were single, your sports car, gone. Your boat, gone. Your motorcycle, gone. Your fly gear, it ain't gone, but it's so far back in the closet, you don't wear it no more because you ain't going nowhere fly. So it's gone. Your exercise equipment, gone. Your six-pack, gone. Your little black book, gone. Your secret rendezvous partners, gone. Hell, your real partners, gone. You got to get rid of all of it, boy, because you're about to be institutionalized. You about to be in an emotional prison, so you don't need none of this stuff. You don't need no fly clothes to be married. You don't need no motorcycle to be married. You don't need no sports car to be married. Boy, you need a minivan. You need a baby SUV. You better get you a Ford Explorer or something. You need your Toyota 4Runner or something like that, man. You need your Nissan Pathfinder or something like that. You understand? Get you a Dodge Durango, homie. That's what you need, you. Everything gone, dog. And you still living like everything is gravy. Nah, everything ain't gravy. But just like behind the wall, you just got to make an adjustment. This is your new life. You got to make an adjustment. But behind the wall, for the most part, unless you stuck behind that boy until you kick the bucket, you count down the days. Every day you getting closer to getting out. You already know what the day is. It ain't expected for it to be life. Not for the most of us. It ain't expected to be life. Even if you got 10 years, you know that after 10 years, you're going home, you're getting out, you're going to be free. Marriage, man, you ain't break that thing in. That's what they say till you been in 10 years. You don't know what you got till you've been married 10 years. Man, I ain't finna be married 10 months. I don't know. Now, you know what? I'm going to share a story with y'all on, let's see if I'm doing it on the membership. I'm going to do it on the memberships. And I'm going to also put it on my 2 highest tiers on Patreon, man, on my executive alpha and ownership alpha tiers, man. Listen, I'm gonna share a story with y'all, man. I never shared this with anyone before, so I'm gonna share a story with y'all, man. So when you think about it, man, another thing is this, man. You got a schedule that never changes. Think about how boring and drab your damn life is when you got a schedule that never changes. Even out here in the free world, man, as a single man, we do everything in our power not to have the same routine. That's why we become our own boss. Not so we can get rich. If we get rich, then that's just a part of it. But we become our own boss, man, so we can get out of their routine schedule. I don't want to work 8 to 4, 9 to 5. I don't want to do that. It's too routine. Every day, my day is gone. And then I got Saturday and Sunday, man. Then I got to do it again for 5 more days. I ain't with that. Same thing happens in marriage, man. You get into that never changing everyday routine. Got some kids involved, man. 5 days a week, your routine goes the same. Get them up, get them dressed, get them off to school. Pick them up, get them fed, get them off to bed after they do that homework. You see what I'm saying? Now, let me tell you the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing. Some of these guys have an old lady who just is at home. You understand what I'm saying? She's at home taking care of all of these things when it comes to children and the household and all that. But this guy is going out there working. And once he spends what he's gonna spend, it's like he's making a prison salary. It's like he's making $1.50 to $3 an hour. He going out there working to pay all his money out on stuff. So he got about the same amount of money left. And you know, then when you think about these things, man, you got to think about that. Think about that close. You got to never change a routine. 10 years later, man, you wake up, bro. I want y'all to imagine this. Your life becomes so routine that 10 years from now, all you can remember is this night that we was on this live stream talking about 10 ways marriage is like prison. You got a 10-year window where you can't remember net major happening. You know what I'm saying? You can't remember nothing major happening over a 10-year period because your life has been routine. Everything you remember is tied to somebody else's special day. You remember the day that, such and such graduated, or you remember the day your old lady got her degree, or you remember the day that, something. You remember everything based on other people's days because your life has become so routine and drab that you're wasting your life away, man. And for me, bro, that's a travesty right there. That's a straight up travesty, man. Another thing, man, your communication is monitored. Your communication is monitored. You tracked. Man, these chicks be having all kind of apps, man, they have on the phone, man. They track your phone. Listen, man, they have apps and uh what I call catch-alls on their phone, man, where your text message will be routed to her phone. Your voicemails will be routed to her phone. These type of things they do, man. Your communication will be monitored seriously. They'll stand behind the wall like they're in the other room, man, to listen to your conversation. They'll bug your car. This is some of the real things they'll do, man. They'll bug your watch. It don't cost a whole lot, man, to get some bugged, to be honest with you. It don't cost a lot. D Flemings, appreciate the super chat, brother. Salute to you as well, bro. You got to, this is the thing, man. You are owned. You are, when you before you get locked up, man, they tell you have now been remitted to the custody of whatever state you're in, penal system. You have been given over to them. They have been given ownership over you. You have been taken into the custody. I want you to think about that, man. Same thing that happened with your old lady, man. You have been taken into the custody. See, in prison, you go by a number. In marriage, you go by a title. My husband, my man, good husband, good father. Everything that doesn't embody you is always about somebody else. So it's the same thing. You're owned in both of these scenarios. And that's the reality of it, man. And let me and this is the one right here that really really means this is one of the most alarming similarities that we overlook all the time. You could have to defend your manhood at any time in either scenario. We know about prison. You can have to defend your manhood at any time. At any time. You just never know when you're gonna have to defend your manhood. You might have to figure out how to whoop this cat and he got a knife. You might have to fight 2, 3 cats. 4, 5. But at some point, you're gonna have to stand up and defend your manhood. In marriage too, though. You gotta defend your manhood in marriage with a different kind of attack. It's the attack of feminine energy, trying to engulf you, trying to take over your life, trying to rid you of your masculinity, trying to make you more compatible with your woman. Let me tell you something. If you're compatible with your woman, you're too feminine. Anything could pop off. When she put them tears on you, that's an attack on your manhood. What you gonna do? Are you gonna tell her to suck them tears up? Like, oh baby, I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to do. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings like that, baby. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Jose Navarro, appreciate the super chat, bro. I mean, marriage is an attack on your manhood. Being in love is an attack on your manhood. Monogamy is an attack on your manhood. It is telling you to suppress who you are. It is telling you to suppress what you stand for. It is telling you to forego the blessings that are out there for you. Another thing is this, man. When you finally get out, most times your ass don't never want to go back to prison. When you get out, you're like, man, I'm good. That ain't no place for me to be. But in marriage, I know some men who've been married 3 times. They're on their 3rd marriage now, but I know a bunch of men who did it once and never did it again. A bunch of men who did it once and never did it again. Don't matter who the woman was, they are never going to do it again. It's a wrap on that. And I know you know some of those men as well. Hell, some of you might be some of those men. And that's real, man. Now, you know, when you really think about these things, man, we have to understand that there's a divide between brothers. There's some brothers who are proponents of marriage. I'm talking about legal marriage. And there's brothers like me who are opponents, adversaries. Not opponents, but yeah, adversaries. I'm tripping. Adversaries of marriage, adversaries of the entire process. See, I figure if you're about prison reform, then you got to be about marriage reform as well. But we don't ever talk about that. We always talk about prison reform because we don't look at marriage as a prison. But marriage is a prison. Marriage is a prison. Men get dogged out every day by their warden in marriage. Men get killed pretty regularly by their warden in their marriage. And I ain't making this up, man. I can't make this up. The bottom line is, man, marriage is like prison. Let's do a quick recap. 10 ways marriage is like prison. Number 1, your wife is like a cellmate for all intents and purposes. Y'all share a space and y'all had to smell each other defecation, smell each other farts. Number 2, prison is an institution, but so is marriage. The same way prisons are governed. Marriages as well. But neither is governed by the prisoners. It's governed by the prison. The law supports the prison. The law has to okay you to get out of there. It's got to be your time. They got to process you out the same way they process you in both prison and marriage. Or both physical prison and emotional prison. There's the expectation for you to be settled in and settled down by a certain time of night. Number 5, your spouse is your warden and can deprive you of privileges and other punishments and give you other punishments. Number 6, your communication is monitored in more ways than you could even possibly know. Number 7, you have a conjugal visit sex schedule. So it's like if you get visit every 2 weeks like clockwork, every Saturday, like every other Saturday like clockwork, you getting that work. But if you're a man out here in the free world, man, you out here getting it, hey man, the conjugal visit schedule might not work for you. Jose Navarro, appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. Brother say, well, living in radical time. It's time to be radical opponents. Real talk, brother. I could have said that better myself. I couldn't have said it better myself. Number 8, a never changing everyday routine. Man, you know how boring and drab it is, man, to have every day you just, just basic routine and everything. I mean, you can't really even enjoy life. Your life so basic. Number 9, you could have to defend your manhood at any time with either one. At any time. You can wake up and you got to put hands on somebody. Or you can wake up and realize that, your old lady ran off with your partner. She done stole from you. Number 10, rather. When you finally get out, you find out they ever take your butt back. You ain't trying to go back, man. You trying to keep your ass out of there. Going back is not an option for you. And that's real talk. So, YMC, D Flemings, man, I appreciate y'all being in the joint. Like I said, man, we ain't gonna make this thing too long. I want to try to leave it up a little bit. I like leaving this content up, man. So, let's get on out of here, man. Salute to the Mod Squad, man. Salute to everybody who came through, man. It's been real in the field. King Ray Ray in this bitch. Ha!